Hello. Okay. Before we get into Timsle, we want to know a little bit about you. So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Quayce. I'm the founder and software developer of Timsle.com, which is a social accountability network to help you keep up with your goals with the support of your family and friends. I live in Ottawa, and I like to run a lot. I have bipolar disorder, and so in order to stay on track with my well-being and get better, I like to do a lot of physical activity and do a lot of cooking. I'm very into yoga, meditation, and just being outside. So, and also coding. So, yeah.
Awesome. So I guess you got into it just a little bit, but what was the inspiration behind the Accountability Network?
Well, a couple of years ago, I was studying architecture at Carleton. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. And so I went to Carleton, got really into my studies. I was like at the top of my class, student body president in the architecture school. My work was being published, like doing super well. And then in about 3 days, it like all changed. I was diagnosed with psychosis, I had an episode of psychosis, brought to the hospital, given a bunch of medications. I didn't know what was going on. And then I just kind of like crashed and felt like I lost everything. And then, yeah, for the next 2 years, it was kind of depression. And I was doing it was just really hard to do anything. And then a friend on my soccer team noticed that, I'd stopped doing anything, coming to games, and reached out to me. And then he didn't know anything about mental illness or how to help or support someone. And so he one night just brought me to Tim Hortons, and we were talking about, I was trying to explain to him how difficult it was just to do things like wake up in the morning, get ready for the day, because everything just kind of was difficult. And he challenged me the next morning just to wake up and then send him a text. And the next morning I did that. And I woke up at 7, I texted him like, hey, I'm up. And he was like, awesome, good work. And it was very strange because in the whole mental illness journey, a lot of times they would hand medications or talk about, the chemicals in your brain, but never say, hey, there's actually a lot of things you can do to help yourself get better. And so that was a huge change. Learning that, I can actually control and like affect my well-being. And that was a big moment. But I had depression, I had all kinds of things, and actually doing these things is really difficult. And so if you're going to do them, you need some way to stay accountable to these goals. And so that's where that's where Timsle kind of started. It was like a calendar on our wall at home with me and my mom. And I would, wake up or go for my run and then put a green dot on the calendar, and my mom would do the same thing too. And for me, it was hard because, depression. But for my mom, she's a physician working all the time, and it was difficult for her because she's busy. And so it was pretty cool to put it on a level playing field. We both have to do goals to get better, and they're both difficult to do, or they're difficult to do each day for anyone. And so, yeah, the inspiration for Timsle was just a lot about learning that it's really that there's a lot of things you can do to improve your health if you have the support, and that there's a lot of opportunity to help people get better by focusing on their goals.
Amazing. Well, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's incredible how much you've shared in just a small amount of time. Like, I feel like I know you so well now. And yeah, also it's amazing what you're doing with the app and how you're using it to help other people now who are maybe experiencing the same thing. Because yeah, as we know, mental illness is debilitating, and it is hard to wake up and do even like the small things. So that's awesome. So for people that are interested in Timsle or new to it, how would you describe it? And like, maybe you could walk us through, if somebody were to join, what they could expect, like what the process would look like.
Yeah, well, the idea is to, when you just want to support someone in, doing their goal, and then you're like, well, should we make like a group or something? Should we like and then it only works for like a day.
The
The
Facebook
point,
support groups, yeah.
yeah, it's like it's because it's just difficult to keep that up. And so the point of this is one place. You go to timsle.com, you add a buddy, so that's someone that you want to support, wants to support you. Then you pick a challenge, so it's like maybe you want to start eating healthy, getting physically active, that kind of stuff. And then within your challenge, you choose some activities that you're interested in working on, doing each day. And then each day you do those activities. And then when you do it, you take a photo of yourself, like with your phone, nice selfie, and you check in. And then your friends and family see those check-ins, or your buddies see the check-ins, and then they verify them. So we got to know they're the ones who determine if you did it or not.
Okay.
And
or if the photo was staged.
yeah. And it can get like your friends and family know you, so they'll go easy when at the beginning, and then the more you get into it, the more stricter they seem to become with what passes as a healthy lunch. And yeah, so when you're doing so just in your normal day, you do your check-ins, and then if you stop doing them for a while, Timsle is designed to try to figure out, okay, is this because you're just having life is just a little bit more difficult right now, or is there something that we should be aware of? And so it will let your friends and family know that you've been having a little bit of difficulty, and just what they could do to support you.
Amazing. That sounds great. Why the name Timsle?
Well, when my friend from my soccer team offered to help, or just, reach out, I didn't take him up on it for a while. It was like probably 6 or 7 months. And then I had a particularly rough evening one time, and I was just, not doing well. And I called him up, and it was probably 11 p.m. It was pretty late. And he came back from work. It was like snow blowing at the time in the city of Ottawa, and picked me up and brought me to Tim Hortons. And then that was kind of that we started like going for a coffee there, and that became the place where we kind of stay accountable to the goals that I said I would do, for myself. And so when it came actually to the time of naming the app, we thought that was pretty good, because the Tim's itself did not make me better. It was a place where you can do this activity of staying accountable to each other.
Right.
And yeah, I can't call it Tim Hortons.
Copyright. Yes. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, there's a ring to it. I like it.
Yeah. Although I do email them every so often and say like, hey, is this all right?
And if they don't reply, you take it as a yes. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so more about the app. So obviously we've all learned to cope through this whole pandemic thing for about almost a year and a month now. But there's still a lot of change that we're experiencing, and life obviously still isn't normal, I guess, as we know it. So do you think that there are specific ways that Timsle can help its users in an era that's characterized by COVID-19?
Definitely. As human beings, we have a big need to be outside. We have a big need to use our bodies to be physically active, to go out and have experiences, safely. And right now in the the competitive landscape, a lot of the services that we use are competing for our inactivity. So it's like the more we sit on our couch, the more reward we get. And that's a really big problem for mental health and well-being. And so one of I guess a big goal in this is to get a platform out there, a social platform that's fun and exciting to use, but in using it, it's going to, help you get better, combat some of the side effects of some of the other systems. And in COVID, with everyone at home, I think it gets a little bit easier to not do that workout, to not make that healthy breakfast or whatever. But you can do a lot of this stuff. It's just hard when you're not seeing people.
Yeah.
So this as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like a great app. And I guess on that note, if people are interested in signing up or learning more, where can they go to learn about it, or like to follow progress and development and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, so you can go to timsle.com, timsle.com, and that's the site. We're working on it all the time, and as we update it, the updates will come. So just check it once in a while, see when we you can follow the progress there. We're also just starting some social media now, so making Instagram and a Reddit, so we can collect feedback a little more easily, and a Discord for to get people's feedback as we go. And so I can share those links with you. And I mean, it's a work in progress. And so, yeah, I think you can also Google it. TISLE.
Yes, you can. But no, that sounds great. And I think I can speak for all of us at Mind Your Mind when I say we're excited to see where it goes, and we can't wait till it's out.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited too. I think it's a really good opportunity.
It is. It's such an amazing idea. I guess this kind of brings us to the end of our interview, but do you have any final words or any last thoughts that you want to share?
Yeah, it always surprises me how, or people really don't think that they can affect their mental health outcomes through this small, like the daily activities, but it really does work. And the more, and the changes add up over time, or like actually can be quite fast. And so I just want to encourage everyone who's maybe thinking about going for a run, or making a different dinner, or trying a yoga or something like that. Do it, see what happens. And yeah, just try it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. No, that's great. And it's true, like a bunch of small actions always lead up to something great, right? So you're 100% right.
Yeah, they
Awesome.
do.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.